Okay, so I know I said I would try to do a reading sooner. My boys have changed schools, so I apologize. I've just been a little bit busy with all the logistics of that. But I'm doing this reading because I've actually had a really long prayer session. And look, I could have squeezed in a little reading here and there. I could have, but that's not right. I don't want to just squeeze in a little reading and just try to wing it because, I know a lot of people who watch these videos are swayed and influenced by the things that they watch. So I would rather put nothing at all than potentially just put something out there that's coming from me. And I don't trust myself at all, just FYI. I only trust myself when I really feel that I'm connected to God. So, a few things. I've had a really beautiful prayer session, and I pray that I can remember everything that God asked me to say to you. The first thing, okay, so I will admit I was feeling a little bit anxious actually. I had a little bit of performance anxiety. Reason being that I have been watching a lot of pastors, a lot of content made by pastors recently. And I was feeling a little bit anxious about the fact that, my Bible knowledge isn't the best. I do have a pretty basic understanding of it, but I love to hear them talk about it actually. And so I was feeling a little bit self-conscious about my inadequacy in that department. And God just made me stop and he said, "Breathe, take a big deep breath in." And as I breathed in, I saw this light, this beautiful white light, and it entered me through the crown all the way through my body, and I actually felt it. I felt it as this beautiful warmth. And he said to me, I don't always hear God's voice. Most of you will know, he speaks to us in different ways, but I did actually just hear his voice. And he said to me, people focus so much on knowledge and not on the feeling. That's what he said. People focus so much on knowledge and not on the feeling. And after that, I was having a little think about it. I thought, why do I love spending time with or spending time listening to people who know the book so well? Because that's what I lack. But I also find that a lot of people who are very well versed in the Bible enjoy spending time with me. And that's because I suppose my strength, and we do bring different things to the table, is that feeling, that very strong feeling of connection. And so I think it's beautiful when, both those things come together. So, look, there are some amazing pastors out there. I'm almost tempted to give one of them a shout out. I won't do it just yet. If you're interested, you know what? If you are interested, email me. I always respond to my emails. So please feel free to email me and I'll let you know who he is, but he's wonderful. But anyway, my thing is a little bit different. I do use tarot cards, and yes, I know I have been chastised by a couple, only a couple. In the 3 years I've been running this channel, only 2 people have chastised me very heavily for this. I'm fully aware of what the Bible says about divination, but I'm not sitting here saying in 3 months' time you're about to meet a tall, dark, handsome man, and he works in finance. That's not what this channel is. So I think it's very close-minded to look at the channel in that way. And I will say, just quickly before I move on to the rest of the things that God wanted me to say, yes, I agree that it is a dangerous thing. It's a very dangerous thing. But in the same way that, for example, I have 2 kids and we have rules in our house, but sometimes I will make certain allowances for one because I know they're not exactly the same. And same thing goes for the other. Sometimes I'll make allowances for the other one because I know they're not exactly the same. So one of the things I will say for anyone who does have that issue with me talking about Jesus and tarot all in one, and these aren't tarot cards, so to speak. These are energy cards, by the way. One thing I will say is that I have, since I was a very young child, I have always loved art, always loved images. I'm a very visual person, and I do pray very frequently and I pray very intensely. So I speak to God first and then I do this. And all this is doing really is just, I suppose, clarifying a little bit for me as well, and also letting you see, because quite often I will say things and then they just come out in the cards. So it's a bit of a confirmation there. But yes, I agree. Most people shouldn't dabble with this kind of thing. 100% I do agree with that. Now, the other thing God wanted me to draw your attention to was the story of the laborers in the vineyard. And I'm not going to go into it because that's not what this channel is, and I'm not a pastor, and I'm not going to pretend to be, but he's been bringing that one up for a while, actually. And he brought it up again today. And he wanted me to remind you that we sometimes have this fixation on things being fair, and that's the way the logical mind works. That's the way the logical world works. But that's not how God works. God will sometimes just handpick somebody and bless them, and to everybody else's eyes, it looks like there's no reason for it. But never question why somebody suddenly gets blessed. because you don't know what God saw in that person. You don't know what they've been through, where they've come from. And the other thing that he wanted me to say, and if the story interests you, it is in the book of Matthew, Matthew chapter 20. So it's called The Laborers in the Vineyard. The other thing that God wanted me to say about it was that, sorry, I just got distracted because I looked over at my Bible. What was I going to say? Yes. So you might have 10 people doing the exact same thing. And to the human eye, it looks like they're all doing the exact same thing. But God sees not just what they're doing, but who they're being while they do it. And for God, that's much more important. So where is your mind? Where is your heart while you're doing it? Because he sees, yeah, and you can't escape from that. That is an X-ray. Okay, was there anything else, God? Have I remembered everything? No, I haven't remembered everything. The trophy. Okay. The last thing he showed me was a man, and then he showed me a woman as well, and he kind of explained to me that he was simply doing that so nobody watching this thinks, oh, he must be talking about a man, or he must be talking about a woman. He was just showing me, whoever you are, he was showing me somebody holding a trophy, and they were so effing tired. Is all I'll say. I felt their tiredness. This person, whoever you are, you have been through a marathon emotionally, for some of you even physically, whatever your battle was, but God saw, and I could actually feel the tiredness in your arms holding up that trophy, but I could feel equally so, even more so, the strength in your arms, the way you were holding it up. So whoever you are, you should be very proud of yourself. And all he said was, you did it. That's it. And I'm not going to go into specifics, because if it's for you, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, anybody who finds this really offensive, you don't need to watch, okay? All right. And I'm probably going to shut off comments just because I've got a bit going on at the moment with my boys and new schools and other things, and I don't really have the time to monitor, but please feel free to email me. I always respond to emails. All right. God, what do you want to say to my beautiful people today? 1, 2, 3. We might go 9 of these today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, man holding a coin. Well, to me, that is a victory. I don't think there's a trophy in this actual deck, but that's the pentacle. And I feel like I want to say that someone's worked very hard for it. This guy, I interpret in different ways, actually, and I'm drawn to the fact that I can see his shadow as well. And I think for some of you, that might even be the victory, is just the acceptance and the integration of the shadow aspect of you and saying, yeah, this is who I am, and I love it. And I'm not going to pretend that it's not there, yeah, because it's always going to be there. But see, he's dressed in white too. Never even picked up on that before. He's dressed in white. You can be a very good person and still be okay with your shadow. And I think some of the people that write to me, I'm drawn to all of that white too. Yeah, adjacent possibilities. I feel like this is speaking to all the different doors that lie within you. It's not an external thing I'm feeling right now. All the different doors that lie within you. And not just saying, yeah, they're not there. They are there. And they have different things. Oh, yes, I just remembered. They have different things that you can access in different moments. Because there's also, that's what it was, the badass in you. The badass in you. Because another thing God wanted me to say, and I did forget, and this was in this prayer session I just had. The other thing he wanted me to say is that you are a monster to the monsters. Some of you watching this channel, you might find that sometimes you kind of freak people out a little bit. They get a little bit scared, a little bit intimidated by you. And I'm not talking about people who admire you. It's not in that kind of way. I'm talking about sometimes people who just seem to not like you or enjoy your presence, have reservations about you, and for no real reason. And what God said was it's because the demon that whispers in their ear is frightened of the angel that whispers in yours. That's what he said. The demon that whispers in their ear is frightened of the angel that whispers in yours. But he also said, yeah, you're a monster to them. Because what's a monster? Something that scares them. Oh, yeah, you are. Magician in the mirror. This can go either way. If you're a magician, you can do good and you can do bad. You've got the power to do both, but you choose to do good. But there is definitely a side in you. I'm talking to somebody, or several of you, who, if you need to be a badass, you can. You've got that in you. And that comes from pain, I'm going to say. It also comes from a respect for God as well. I don't think I've ever used that word before, respect for God. I talk a lot about the love of God, but there's a certain respect for God. And if you have that, that makes you a different level of badass as well. Whoa, speaking of badass. Yeah, well, oh my God. Well, that's your monster right there. That's your strength. And I was just talking about you holding up that trophy. I said I could feel the tiredness in your arms, but I could also feel the strength in those arms. Yeah, I mean, if you saw that coming at you, you'd be pretty scared, wouldn't you? And that's you. Whoever you are, by the way, I love you. I just want to say that. 1, 2, 3. Let's do 3 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And when I say that, you know, magic can be used for good or bad, I'm talking about your energy, by the way. But you wouldn't use it for bad. That's the thing. You wouldn't do it. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Or you would. What's this financial constraints? Okay, so somebody who might have had financial constraints, that is the victory. So for some, it could be a financial victory. Okay, because now he's holding the pentacle. He's holding that ace of pentacles. But also, I'm getting that it's some practical issues, because when we're talking about pentacles, we're talking about practical things. So you may have been through some difficult times in a very practical sense, and now you've come up trumps. The thinking man, what do we want to say about you? I'm not getting anything from you, and I'm not going to make it up because you know I don't do that. So I'm just going to keep going. Maybe someone here, what I'll do is, because you guys and girls are all pretty smart, so I'm going to do that. Can you see it? It's a bit of it. The lighting's not great here, but I'll just let you look at that, because that may be speaking to just someone, just one person, or it might come later. We'll see. Anxiety. Well, I mean, okay, so that was me, by the way, before the reading. I don't know my Bible very well. Okay, don't worry about that, because I want to say Jesus loved children, didn't he? And children generally don't tend to know the Bible all that well, do they? But they're very close to God, and they're very close to angels because they don't have all these filters put in yet. Oh my God, I just said they're very close to angels because they don't have these filters put in yet. It's all about the love. It's not about the knowledge. And I'm not saying don't go out there and get it. I am starting to study my Bible a little bit more, but I'm saying don't feel like, you know, you're ruled out because you mightn't be necessarily the most knowledgeable person in the room. All right, we'll do three more because I said 9. 1, 2, 3. The thinking man, that's what I just said. Yeah, it's not all about the knowledge. There we go, because he's the intellectual, isn't he? It's not all about that. But that's not to say that it's worthless. It is worth so much in the right hands. Definitely not worth it in someone's hand who's just going to come down on someone else for not following the Bible to the letter. And my response to that would be, are you a perfect Christian? Because if you are, then yes, I would love to hear from you. Okay, we'll do 3 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. What do we got? So this is the third eye, the all-seeing eye. Viewing things from a different perspective. So I'm getting the story of the laborers in the vineyard again. There's a different way to see. So we can see things at a really sort of 2-dimensional level, just flat on the surface. Hey, you did the same amount of hours. You worked different hours. You shouldn't be getting the same pay. That's how we would be trained to see things in the logical mind. But if you see things through your third eye, you would understand that it doesn't always work out mathematically. It's interesting. I mean, this is a mathematical world, and it isn't at the same time. Because if you're doing something with love, or if an angel of love just decides to bless somebody, there's not much you can do about it, okay? Just be happy for them. And remember, it swings and roundabouts too. Someday it'll be your turn. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, we're getting a lot of divine cards coming up. This one's even higher, by the way. This is the crown chakra. This is when you can actually connect to God and start to think like him. Why am I getting a storm warning underneath that, though? I mean, the first thing that came to me, but I'm not satisfied with that. It can't be that simple. I am just getting, ignore it, just walk on water. I'm not saying that's not a message, because it is. It's one of them, but I think there's more to it. I mean, I looked at it and just thought, yeah, okay, there's a storm there, but just walk on water. That's what Jesus would do. That's what he asked Peter to do. But what more do you want to say about that? I'm going to get a bit of clarification. What I'll do, oh, balance. Okay. So what are we doing? You got to maintain your balance through the storm. Yes. I'm drawn to the fact that that's a child as well. I think she's so focused. Please correct me, God, if I'm wrong. She's so focused on that little jar. Whatever is in that jar. It's a very pure thing, I'll tell you that. And it's very honest too, because I'm drawn to all the blue. That's Archangel Michael's color. It's a color of just cut the bull crap. But I'm also getting that there's just something magical in that jar. Whatever it is, I don't think it's important because it'll be different things for different people. But she doesn't care about this. She doesn't care about it. I think she's aware of it, but she doesn't care about it. But I'm going to confirm that. Oh, God. Okay, he just did. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Can you see his heart, by the way? You see the theme here. We've got things going on here. Yes, crown chakra is knowledge. This is, seeing through God's eyes, but also remember the love. So it is about finding that balance. Now we got it. Thank you, Jesus. I needed your help. It's about finding the balance between both, which is actually what I spoke about earlier. Do you want to say anything else? Is that it? I've got another deck here, but I don't know. No, I don't think I'm going to. I think we're done. So I'm just going to say over and out, and I will speak to you really soon. Take care.